Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta, and today I'm going to bring you a couple of really cute DIYs. So for my first DIY, I wanted to recreate this succulent terrarium that I saw on the Pottery Barn website. It was $119 and no. So from Dollar Tree, I picked up some of the clear glass bowls and some of the square glass vases and some white sand, which I didn't have on hand. Everything else I had. And basically what I did was just put the sand in the bowl, throw some rocks in there, some of the Dollar Tree floral moss, succulents. I got a couple of my succulents from Target Dollar Spot, and I made my own for a fraction of the cost. Nice try, Pottery Barn. Then I decided that I wanted to make bookends, so same concept. I think these came out so cute. I actually ran out of sand by the time I made these two, so I used Epsom salt for them, but I think they turned out adorable. I mean, there is no right or wrong way. You can make these to your liking, with soil, without soil. I love them. And for my next DIY, I wanted to recreate this floating shelf that I saw on Etsy. Now, I didn't want to go out and buy anything. I wanted to look around my house for stuff that I had to maybe use for this DIY. And I came up with this. I had some scraps of yarn that were actually given to me at work, believe it or not. And I didn't have enough of the white yarn or of the gray yarn, so I had to incorporate some of the Dollar Tree jute twine for this. But what I ended up doing was I cut 18 pieces of this yarn mixture to the length of 9 feet each. Now you can make this however long you want. I just wanted to give myself some extra wiggle room, so I made it like really long. Next, you want to find the center of this conglomeration and tie a knot there with another piece of yarn. This is the center point, and this is where the floating shelf is going to hang from. Just make sure you tie the knot, tie it around a few times to make sure that it is nice and snug. Then you'll cut off the excess of the yarn that you just used to tie around the center. And I chose to use a book ring. This is how I'm going to hang my planter. It's what I had on hand, but you guys can use, whatever you guys have. I'm going to put this through that knot and slip it through and close it. I may use some E6000 later where the two ends of the book rings meet. I picked up a very similar massage contraption like this one for 75 cents at the thrift store a while ago, and I used it to make farmhouse beads. So now I'm going to take these beads apart and use them on my project. Now you're going to separate this into 6 sections. I hope I'm making sense. Each section you're going to end up with 2 of the white, 2 of the twine, and 2 of the gray. I did it this way so that it has some type of a pattern. So now what I'm doing is I'm twisting section number 1 so that I can get it prepared and put it through the first bead. I used some Scotch tape at the bottom of this section so it would make it easier for me to feed it through the bead. Now I had a pack of tweezers that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and this is what I'm going to use to help pull this section through the bead. The fact that this bead had a very large opening made my life a whole heck of a lot easier. And now you're just going to repeat that step for all the remaining sections. Now, I don't know why I did this. Originally, I wanted to tie these knots underneath each bead. I was going for a certain look and also wanted to prevent the bead from sliding down, but in the end, it really didn't matter. They slid down anyway, and I liked it just the same. So this step was just a waste of my time. So here I am trying to figure out how I want to place the next set of beads. I didn't know whether I wanted to go in the middle or on the outer sides, but I knew I wanted to grab 2 sections and put a bead through it. So I just decided to grab the 2 on the left, feed the bead through that, then the 2 in the middle, and then the 2 over on the right, and feed the bead through that. You guys, I hope I'm making sense. This is my first full tutorial, and you know what? This is harder than I thought, okay? Then I took this thing and hung it on a hook on the door. Why do I say I keep saying I'm sorry. And I'm just brushing this thing out because it was kind of tangled and a hot mess. So, yeah. I tie a knot at the end of this thing. I wanted to have like a tassel hanging, so make sure to leave room for some of the yarn to kind of hang down if you want a tassel. So I'm pulling on this thing really tight because that's where my tray is going to go, and I don't want this thing to unravel on me. Now, if you saw my Target 90% off clearance haul, you saw that I picked up this Hearth and Hand with Magnolia tray. I got it for $2.49. If you didn't see that haul, I'm going to link it down below. Now, this is what I'm going to use as my shelf, but you could really use anything you have laying around the house. Then I take my tray and place it in between these sections of yarn. And I just play around with it until it's level and I get it to where I want it. And basically we're done. And here it is, up close and personal. I am obsessed with how this came out. It is so beautiful. My Dollar Tree Succulent Terrarium looks gorgeous on here. And I just love this thing. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it, and I'm going to have a lot of fun decorating it. And it only cost me $2.49. That's the cost of the wooden tray that I got at Target, and everything else I already had on hand. So I'm really happy about that and about how this turned out. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Hasta la vista.